Yeah, it's XergY Business Excellence Pvt Ltd. We are in our fourth year in our operations. This company was founded by me. Okay, and we are basically Lean Six Sigma consulting company. That's our major bread and butter, or the main pillar. Of course, we do a lot of other things today, apart from Lean Six Sigma as well. We are also developing some of the IT products. We have our own ITES vertical, okay, through which we cater to a lot of companies, a lot of organizations to deliver IT services. Our IT product building vertical focus on building some innovative product which are kind of helpful to common man, which again we got to figure out this through applying lean and Six Sigma techniques. Yeah, this is a quick introduction about myself.
Okay, sir, you have completed, means you have mentored more than 200 projects in different industries like IT and automobile and the different manufacturing industries. You have given mentoring, and also you are giving training. How you got passionate about these things, about the training and mentoring like this? How you got passionate on this field?
Great. See, this is what I feel, right? Every professional, who kind of got fair amount of success in their corporate career, and doing something good, should actually guide some of the junior folks. That's where as an organization and as an country, we actually grow. Okay, I always feel that it is necessary of every professionals who achieve certain level should get back to. Training some of the juniors to or some of the younger generation to learn something new. I mean, that's how I learned as well. I learned from some of the who's who of Lean Six Sigma, ASI, and we were back in 2003 and 4 when in Bosch, when I used to work with Bosch. And these are the people who actually had done enough in their corporate career, and after which they were actually training us. Okay, and I always felt that driving project is most important in Lean Six Sigma rather than certification. Okay, and I always felt there's a lot of gap between certification agencies and the industry requirement. Many certification agencies today, this is around the world, focus on just on certification. Okay, and many professionals spending a lot of money on getting certified from various certification bodies. Okay, but what really count for organization is their ability to drive projects on the ground, their ability to lead the Lean Six Sigma project and get that millions of dollars saving. So I've been a freelance trainer for various organizations right in Bangalore. I trained good number of companies, good number of training organizations in Bangalore. I've been training from 2010 onwards. Okay, weekends is where I used to go and train for various organizations. Okay, I always felt that the curriculum which was given to me to train the professionals was not really good enough for professionals to go back to the industries, go back to the companies and drive projects. I felt there's a lot of gap. Okay, and I felt that need for an organization to come up with a strategy of where enable professionals to not just get certificate but also should be able to drive projects. So this motivated me to get into the training industry. Even today we are a full-time consultant. So the reason why we got in training initially was to kind of fill our working days. Okay, but over a period of time, it so happened that we are extremely busy with our consulting assignment, but we continued our training assignment in the weekend, especially not much during the weekdays, for a simple reason that we want to enable professionals to learn Lean Six Sigma in a way where they go back and do projects. So this is what is driving us today. Yes, we also help professionals to get certified as a Lean Six Sigma professionals, from TUV. But what is most important, or where we focus more, is about them getting that tools and techniques and learning the right way to do projects at the at their work premises.
Yeah. Sir, we see right now during this pandemic situation, more
Yeah.
experienced people are getting terminated from their job, or separated for different reasons actually.
Okay.
One side, and the other side, there is no proper job openings. So what they can do right now? Because you are seeing more experts like this you are training more experts like this. What will be the best way for them? What you will guide for them?
Well, it is difficult for me to kind of give a generic answer for across industries, but what I can recommend, or what I've been recommending for some of the Lean Six Sigma professionals is very simple. Okay, and I'm sure job opportunities are going to open up soon. Okay, I'm sure with the way things are going around the world, and especially many companies are moving out of China. I'm sure India will be one of the hub. Okay, there will be demand for Lean Six Sigma professionals. Even today, I see many opportunities for Lean Six Sigma professionals. I see that the amount of job opportunities for Lean Six Sigma professionals actually is an increasing trend. I mean, there's a WhatsApp group which I maintain for the professional who got trained from us, and there are a lot of people keep exchanging a lot of jobs in that particular group. And I always see that Lean Six Sigma guys are well in demand. But what is most important for the professionals in Lean Six Sigma is their ability to drive projects. All that I suggest, for the somebody is in the business excellence field or a quality field, is that master the skills in Lean Six Sigma, and I'm sure that job requirement should be taken care. I mean, today, at any point of time, at least, I have good openings for guys with good experience in driving projects. If somebody can master the skills, I'm sure there's no way they'll be left without a job. And
Yes.
this is a need of the hour as well, right? The only way that we can compete with China is in the terms of cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quality, we are far superior, but in terms of the cost is where we got to fight. And I'm sure industry will going to look for this one aspect from professionals uh, for helping companies to cut down their expenses, cut down their operating cost. So what else you can think of better than Lean Six Sigma, right? If just imagine, right, there are millions of Lean Six Sigma guys in India.
Yeah.
Correct. Each one of them drives, say, close to, forget about $1 million a year.
Mm.
Okay, $0.5 million a year.
Mhm.
That's a humongous amount of saving for across organizations, and this will be a great saving for entire country as well. I'm sure with this kind of a saving, and we should be able to attract many companies to India,
Oh,
and I'm sure anybody with the skills will be in a great demand for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, this is my suggestion to for all those being a quality guys, or a process guys, or a production guys, or not only in manufacturing, across industries, maybe in ITS, or maybe IT field, or maybe from the supply chain, maybe a food processing industry, or could be a pharma, any of this field. If you're
Even
from this,
even in hospitals
if you
right now, it is getting implemented. Six Sigma is getting implemented effectively right now.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is, Lean Six Sigma actually spreading. Today, Lean Six Sigma is not any option. Actually, it's actually a must.
yes, yes,
Okay. I mean, what do any companies expect? It's a very cost competitive market. Okay. We know the price of many products already. This is there. If you just Google, around, you're going to get the price. Only way the companies actually can be profitable is by implementing Lean Six Sigma,
okay.
and there's no better way. There could be many other ways. I'm not saying this is the only way, but the best way out is Lean Six Sigma. I'm sure Lean Six Sigma can solve many problems which otherwise may not be able to solve by other methodologies.
Okay. Okay, sir. Now, if you see, everyone saying that the now actually the business is growing. Now, business
Yeah.
is after this pandemic, it is getting a little bit growing. It is in growing path right
Yes.
now. And before, when the pandemic started, when
Yeah.
industries were there without orders, everyone said that this is the right time to implement Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, like that they said. Right now,
Absolutely.
orders are coming back right now.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think still it is a good time to implement Six Sigma and Lean projects?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's no better time than this time, right? Because if I mean, as I told you, there's only one area that actually where you can fight with China, or where we should be get better at like from China is cost part of it. Quality, we're extremely good. Okay, and Lean System actually can deliver. And with the current situation, many companies actually already incurred a lot of loss in last maybe 8 to 10 months, right? Okay, there's not been much of a revenue for the companies, correct? It's more of an expense is what they've been spending, maybe on a real estate expense, or could be salaries expenses. Okay, and could be any other expenses, right? In this situation, assume that they also have certain expenses because of the failures. Could
Mhm.
be internal failure, could be a quality failure, could be external failures, could be any failure, or you know the process are not efficient, product is not up to the mark. Okay, then what happens? Again, there's one more element which is getting added to all that, which was already been there from last 8 months, is your losses, right? To overcome losses, I think we got to look at how do we effectively make use of the opportunity that we get. Because now once the market opens up, once the opportunity opens up, okay, and I'm sure companies do expect at optimum cost, okay, and they will look for best quality with optimum cost.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm sure Six Sigma should be able to deliver that for many companies.
Okay. Sir, now I want to know. There are more professions right now inside a company. Like in Six Sigma, they got trained, as you said. There are more experts who got trained with different institutes, and they are having certificate, and they are
Yeah.
struggling to identify the correct project in the company. So
Hmm.
just guide us how it will how to identify a good project in Six Sigma.
Okay. Yeah, there are ways of identifying a good project. And okay, the one thing which should be a common thing is the cost saving that any project can actually generate. Why cost saving is utmost important? For a simple reason that that's what your business actually focus.
Yeah.
That's what your big bosses want. That's
Yeah.
what your director and CEOs want.
Yeah.
Okay, if you go to any leader in your organization and tell them that what, I identified a project which is close to $1 million or $0.5 million, I'm sure they should be willing to support you,
Correct.
right? So a good project is one where you have humongous amount of saving for organization. So how do you identify that is a question mark. Okay, uh, I mean, you can have many approaches, but some of the simple approaches is you can look for the trend where your quality defects are actually going up. Okay, if you see a trend where your quality defects are going up beyond your optimum levels, see, everywhere we should strike for optimal levels. What is the optimum level at which beyond which, if you try to still further improve, maybe you are investing more money than what we get out of it. Okay, if you're not reach your optimum levels, and you should go for optimum levels. Okay, look for trends where your defects are actually increasing. Okay, identify the reasons why the defects are increasing. If you're not able to do that using your conventional techniques, maybe a 7QC tools or maybe other techniques that you have, that's the reason, that's a classic Six Sigma project.
Mm.
Look for productivity wherein it may be dropping in some areas. Okay, and that again is an opportunity for Six Sigma. Maybe the product was maybe at 95%, it has been dropping to say 89%, and you're not able to solve this using your conventional technique. That's an opportunity for Six Sigma. And look for variation in the process, maybe day-to-day variation, maybe employee to employee variation. In the case of service industry,
Mhm.
okay, there could be one employee who is able to complete say 100 transactions per day, and whereas other employees only able to complete only 80 transactions per day. Then that's a good opportunity for you to bridge that gap applying Lean Six Sigma. You need to understand, dig deep and understand why somebody is able to focus 100, I mean was able to get 100 per day, but other is able to get only 80 per day.
Okay.
Okay, and also ask for a business leader. That's a very simple one. Ask the leader, what do they want? I'm
Mm.
sure every leader will going to have certain idea what
Mm.
they'll be interested or what they want out of that particular process in any year.
Mm.
Correct, I mean, asking leader will also going to help you identify those projects. Okay, and of course benchmarking with your other industries, or your competitors will also help, or also benchmarking with a similar process in the company will also help. Okay, I mean, many a times we see that there are different similar process done across many unit, like America region, maybe European region, maybe Asia region, and we see that there's a humongous difference between three different regions. The process is same,
Okay.
but amount of time taken by one region is different from other region.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, input is same, output is same, the way it is done in between is different. Why that should be the why that should be the case, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how about identifying the reason for the differences and trying to minimize this variation? Okay, I mean, again, having said all these things, what is most important is that $1 million saving that you get. Okay,
Correct.
if you're able to identify the project which can generate millions of rupees or millions of dollars, okay, that's the best project to do it. I mean, how do you do that? Put some numbers and identify, okay, in case if you increase your productivity by X percentage, what is the effort that you will end up saving? This effort will be converted to certain manpower, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to calculate what would be the saving that you generate, because you're going to save that man hours. Okay, and put that math for, okay, we are able to reduce quality defect from say 5% to say 2%. Okay, what is the money that you get out of this 5% to 2% reduction, 3% reduction in quality defects? What is the saving that you get out of it? See, a lot of people are able to identify project, but where they go wrong, or what one thing they don't do is they don't quantify it in terms of money.
Okay.
Okay, I see many resumes today who talks about
Number of
did a
projects.
Six Sigma project. Yeah, did a Six Sigma project, reduced differ from 10% to 5%, which is good, but what is that you got out of it?
Correct. Correct.
Because only language the leaders in the company understand is the money language.
Correct. Correct.
And why don't we talk about that language?
Yes.
That's what differentiate between uh, a good Six Sigma guy and maybe average Six Sigma guys. Okay,
Okay.
go behind it money, chase this money. Okay, organizations keen to invest on Six Sigma only when they see returns in on it. Otherwise, there's no motivation, right? You be in the shoes of a CEO of any company. Why
Hmm.
should he invest?
Hmm.
You'll
Correct.
only invest when they see returns, right?
Yes. Yes.
If there's no returns, then obviously there's no fun in investing on Six Sigma.
Yes.
So go after that saving that you generate out of the
Okay.
project.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you have more practical experience in implementing Lean Six Sigma projects.
yeah.
Which is the most difficult part in that implementation, in implementation of Lean Six Sigma? Which will be the more difficult part
Okay,
normally?
okay. I assume that professionals carry certain knowledge, the basic knowledge required to has a dry Six Sigma project. I answer with that as a basic assumption. Okay, because many a case, many a situation, we see that you know many professionals do not even have that idea about how what to expect at the end of each phase, like what to expect at the end of defined phase, what to expect at end of some major phase. The deliverables are not very clear, or they do not know the project structure.
Hmm.
Okay, I assume that this is not the case. Okay, I assume that professionals are well trained, got a knowledge about how to drive a project, or have a fair idea about how you know uh, to start a project and end a project.
Hmm.
Okay, I assume that the theoretical knowledge is there. Okay, so with this in mind, if you want me to answer the where many professionals actually face challenges, not in the knowledge of DMAC is well known.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, I mean, that's a basic assumption that I took. But where many people actually go wrong in getting that buy-in from the stakeholders.
Hmm.
Okay, especially from the leaders as well. Okay, many a chance they don't get the leaders on their side.
Hmm.
The
Correct.
leaders not even aware you know who's doing the project and why are they doing the project.
Yes.
Again, they don't talk that money language. I
Hmm.
mean, I know whenever I get a chance to interact with any of the black belt, I ask them what did they do last year.
Hmm.
Okay, they give me a big list of all the project,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
one thing which they don't tell me is what they got out of it.
Correct.
And I'm sure this is the same case when they talk to the leaders.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one area where actually many professionals to improve themselves, to connect to the leaders and get the buy-in, get this stakeholders buy-in.
Hmm.
Okay, to have all the stakeholders on their side. What
Hmm.
does it mean? And okay, make sure that leader is aware what you're doing.
Hmm.
Okay, and leader is also aware, okay, what to expect out of the project. Maybe and simple example could be, say $0.2 million saving. Which leader will not support if a project is able to generate 200K dollar worth of saving, right? Okay,
Yes.
so this is where people actually face challenge. People face challenge in putting those numbers. It's not that difficult. It's even, I mean, somebody certified as a Lean Sigma green belt or a black belt will definitely know how to play with numbers. But
Correct.
only another reason why they don't do, maybe one thing is they're not taught.
Correct.
Okay, after that, they're not guided to do that. Okay, so people need to get good at, one is, you know getting these numbers, in place, in front of the leaders. Okay, and and also identify some stakeholders who may not be keen, on this project. They have their own reason why they are not supporting for the project. Need to understand why are they not supporting. I need to make sure that need to have an action plan to bring them uh, to a stage where they start supporting. Because Six Sigma is not a chess, right? It's not indoor game. Okay, it's kind of, you know you know had to be played with many professionals. Okay, and every stage in Six Sigma is important. It's important to define the project well. It's important to, measure the, all the defects or all the data well. Okay, we can't go wrong in any of the stages. None of the stages actually should go wrong. The
Okay.
most easiest phase of the Six Sigma actually is analyze phase. Okay, because I'm sure, even if you go wrong, you can actually go back and correct it, right?
Yeah.
But but it is important to make sure that all the stakeholders are aligned and they're, in favor of the project, and they have a reason for this project. They have their own reason. You need to find that win-win formula. You need to find the formula of why each stakeholder should support. What is there for them? Because each professionals, irrespective of department, irrespective of function, or could be any, senior leader in the organization, they'll be looking for only one question: what is in it for me?
Correct.
If that can be answered well,
Mm.
okay, then project will be pretty smooth.
Correct.
And keep communicating, keep updating, the project, status to the, stakeholder. Again, people go wrong in not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the DMAC knowledge. DMAC is actually a piece of cake. It's not a big deal actually.
Okay.
If you understand define, it's not Zabdul English.
Mm.
Correct. A measure is where you get some data. Analyze ways, of course, you can master analyze phase or a pattern. And many projects do not require more than one or two tools or one or two, techniques to arrive at root cause, right? Maybe, regression, maybe ANOVA, and all of these things can be learned. It's not a big deal. But
Mm-hmm.
what somebody should, get good at is, developing the leadership skills,
Mm.
having that, developing people skills, having, developing the change management skills. This is where I feel many professionals actually go wrong or they find it difficult.
Mm.
Yeah.
So one more question actually. As you said, change management. I'll just ask you. See, right now, if you take in different industries, automobile industries or aerospace industry or medical industry, change management is very important thing which everyone should follow. But
Absolutely.
I have audited some companies, and I feel like change management is having a big lagging right now.
Yeah.
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 Can you say why it is happened and how to take forward it? Because it should be everyone should get aware of that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. See, change management, is something, which is, utmost critical for any organization, which is going through a change. So you need to understand it's all about people at the end of the day,
Yeah.
irrespective of what technology you bring in, irrespective of, the best of the best, technology you bring into the organization. It's at the end of the people are the one who are going to use it.
Mm.
Correct.
Correct.
If you don't let people, understand and, know what is to, kind of expect in a next couple of, months or, years, or
Mm.
maybe a quarter, then how will they, how do you expect them to adopt to the new technology or new methodology of doing things, right?
Mm.
So it's utmost important for people to, have the clarity. And the way, it is should be kind of driven by the leader. Okay,
Mm.
it is kind of, somebody leading from the front in organization should understand, okay, why it is important, and they should have a clarity,
Yes.
because many a time people are taken for granted. What is obvious for somebody may not be obvious for others. What does it mean? Yeah, somebody logically may say, "Yeah, I think people should accept this idea, people should support this idea," but
Mm-hmm.
that may not be the case when you know go on the ground,
Mm.
right? They might have a number of challenges. It is good to address those challenges well in advance, rather than getting at a stage where there's less chance of coming back.
Mm.
Okay, your pilot, piloting of any of the solution is very, very critical.
Yes.
Okay, why piloting is important? Because that's where you get to know your challenges. Many
Mm-hmm.
time it so happen that you do good FMEA, failure mode effect analysis, but FMEA is still a theoretical one.
Yes.
People say, "Yes sir, I've done FMEA." Okay, fantastic, very nice. Have you done a piloting?
Mm.
Because if the pilot is not done, if the FMEA was just a theory, maybe yes, you put all the brains there,
Mm.
but pilot will going to help you validate uh, whether have you taken care of all the process challenges in your FMEA, or what something might go wrong, have you taken care of them.
Okay.
And these are the inputs which should go for your change management.
Yeah.
Okay, and once you do a pilot, you can also easily communicate, or also easy to get a buy-in from the stakeholders,
Yeah.
because you can show the pilot result. You can show that yes, we did this pilot and we found the results are satisfactory, and we found that the efforts are reducing, we found that defects are reducing, correct, and we found that there's a good amount of quality improvement, we found that there's a customer satisfaction is increasing. So if you show this simple data driven analysis, I'm sure anybody will be able to buy in this argument. Otherwise, if you just go ahead and make the change without letting people know, without doing a pilot, without planning well, without not having a right budget in place, then it'll definitely lead to challenges. Yeah, the leaders at the helm of the company should take care of this. I mean, this is I suggest the leaders to review this personally, because this is an important thing.
Yes.
Because the change is something which people not keen to undergo, because the resistance to change is still there, right, will be there. And and it's not their fault actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
because even if somebody even if you put in their situation, I mean, we also don't like to change, right? We just want the as usual scenarios. Okay, hope I
So
answered your question.
yeah. So
Okay.
you are visiting different companies right now, but what you feel common thing which can be improved during this pandemic situation? The common thing, something
Okay.
common in all industries, whichever you are mentoring or visiting, or something you are thinking to say them.
Hmm.
A common
Okay.
problem. Just asking
The
about that.
common problem is, many companies, look for Lean Six Sigma as a standalone, one or two project, stuff, but
Oh.
I'm not in favor of that. What I always suggest, companies is, make Lean Six Sigma as your DNA. Okay,
Hmm.
just not about one or two. Okay, try one or two projects, we are done with it.
Hmm.
That will not going to get you anywhere.
Hmm.
Maybe after some time, you'll be back to square one.
Hmm.
Okay, what is most important is to drive this project on a constant basis, on a regular basis, and regular intervals.
Hmm.
Okay, so one thing I suggest for any companies which I visit is that make this as DNA. I'm sure this is going to give you tremendous amount of saving. One or two project might give you 1 million or 2 million or 3 million saving,
Hmm.
but that's not good enough, right? That's not good enough to compete. So countries like China, you got to be cost competitive. Okay, you got to make it DNA. I'm
Hmm.
sure there are many companies who have made this as a DNA. I mean, some of the companies which I worked, Wipro has made this, Six Sigma as a DNA. See,
Hmm.
Six Sigma is there in the DNA as Wipro. Same
Hmm.
thing with TCS. I didn't work TCS, but I am aware of how TCS actually made use of Six Sigma principles.
Hmm.
Same thing with HPE. Same thing with Accenture, Honeywell.
Hmm.
Okay, and all these companies are GE. Okay, all these companies are gain billions of dollars of saving, okay, by applying Six Sigma.
Hmm.
And all these companies have made Lean Six Sigma as a DNA, just not about one or two projects. So any company I consult, I say this, okay, make sure you go for the long haul. Okay, and there's one more challenge I feel see in many companies is that the moment they see an effort reduction, they start sending out people. Okay, they start giving pink slips.
Correct.
Okay, again that way you're not going too far in Lean Six Sigma.
Correct.
Okay, you cannot. I mean, that's one suggestion which I like to kind of help any company to understand, or help company get that clarity, is that uh, the moment you make some saving, you reduce some effort in any Six Sigma project, Lean Six Sigma project. Okay, don't send people out of the company. That's a bad culture you're setting for your organization. Okay, that has to change. That simple phenomenon has to change, because the moment you send people out because you're able to save some effort by your productivity improvement project, you know if you do that, then that's the end of Lean Six Sigma journey for your company.
Correct.
For a simple reason, the next time when you go and try to do a project, why do you think the employee should support? At the end of the day, it's all about people.
Yes.
Okay, and people should be taken care. I mean, I've seen many companies where I'll give you a classic example. This is being practiced right in some of the companies in Bangalore, where people try projects. People try project which are effort reduction one. They reduce the effort, they improve the productivity, and they go and tell the manager, what, I have improved this process. Earlier we used to take, say, x amount of hours. Now we're able to do this work in 70% of x amount of hours, which means for 30% of effort is not required. Okay, which means that say a 10 people team, maybe 3 people are not required. Okay, so can you send me out to different teams? How about this kind of a culture, if somebody can build?
Yeah.
This is not a theory. This is there in many companies right in Bangalore.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, if somebody can build this culture, I think that's a kind of pinnacle of Six Sigma or
Yeah.
Lean.
Yeah.
Okay, and I always suggest this to companies to make this as a DNA, and also not to punish people just because you're driving Lean Six Sigma project. If that happens, people will start opposing Lean Six Sigma. I mean, I've seen many companies have done this mistake, and killing their entire Six Sigma strategy for long term. Go for a long term strategy. It's okay to put somebody on a bench for some time rather than sending them out, because anyway you did not had that opportunity at all. Just because you driven Six Sigma project, you got that saving, you got that effort reduction.
Correct.
Now give them a different opportunity, give them a better opportunity, give them opportunity where they feel happy about it.
Correct.
It's a win-win. See, the one mantra which always work in any business, any strategy or anywhere is win-win. The employees of the company has to win, and also the management has to win.
Yeah.
Right? Only then this Lean Sigma can be deployed across the organization, across departments.
Okay. Okay, sir. Actually, we have seen your training profiles and other things, and you have mentioned that it is more practical sessions you will be conducting, like that.
Yeah.
We are more eager to know about how these sessions are more practical, and how you have how you have made this thing possible, even in virtual trainings also. You like to know about it?
Very simple, actually. Very simple. As I told you, we focus on helping professionals to learn how to drive projects. This has been our mantra. This
Okay.
has been our mantra from day one. Okay, and even during our classroom session, we used to conduct a lot of activities through which professionals should learn how to drive projects. Okay, we have been continuing our mantra. Okay, what we do is we help professionals to execute a case study based project right during the training. Like simple example, right? Now you ask me a question about how do you pick project. So all that we do is we give them a case study. You give them a case study which they need to go through. Okay, about this, all real life case studies.
Okay.
Okay, of course the names will not be the same, the products will not be the same, but the business scenarios will be more or less same. Okay, we have picked this up, from some of our experiences, and we give them a case study to understand completely. Simple
Mm.
example is, I have updated this case study in our LinkedIn, company LinkedIn profile. You
Okay.
can download it that from there.
Okay.
Okay, simple example could be, a mobile manufacturing company which is making certain losses. The
Mm.
losses have increased from say couple of years.
Okay.
Now they want to reduce the losses, or become more profitable, right?
Mm.
So the various department has to contribute. So we
Mm.
give them a case study about various departments like manufacturing. Okay, what's happening in manufacturing? What's happening in supply chain? What's happening in sales and sales operations? So we give them the scenarios.
Mm.
Through that, participant have to pick certain projects. It is that we teach them how to identify project.
Okay.
We teach them, okay, look for increasing trend in quality defects. We
Okay.
teach them, okay, look for decreasing trend in productivity.
Okay.
When they go through the case study, the case study is also backed up with the numbers. When
Mm.
they look at the case study, they'll understand how to pick a project.
Okay.
And when they pick, say, 5 or 6 project, okay, for them to drive, we also help them to prioritize the project. How do they prioritize? What should be the criteria? How to get that ROI benefit? How to make that mathematics, simple mathematics? We have built lot of templates as well. So they
Okay.
use these templates to understand uh, what gets them the best ROI.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm.
with this, I mean, they are getting a clear clarity about how to identify a project in the at the workplace,
Okay.
and this get will definitely be translated to the workplace as well, right? And once they identify the project, so we take one project for each one of them,
Okay.
okay, throughout the entire cycle of DMAC.
Okay.
So we complete, say, define phase, we
Mm.
complete, say, voice of customer identification,
Okay.
VOC.
Mm.
Okay, we let them complete voice of customer for their project.
Okay.
Once we complete, say, CTQ, we let them complete CTQ for their project.
Okay.
We complete, say, process mapping, we let them complete process mapping for their project. Same thing is IPOC.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so by the end of define phase and our training, they've done everything required for a defined phase, right, for the case study which is given to them. We give an option actually.
Yeah.
Either they can pick a project from their own workplace, which is
Mm.
fantastic. We'll appreciate that,
Mm.
because they'll be solving a project from their own workplace. I'm sure the managers will be happy about it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because they're getting this problem solved with no cost.
Yes.
Okay, if they don't have, then we give them a case study which they need to solve.
Okay.
They'll be made into multiple groups, like 3 or 4 groups based
Mm.
on number of participants. Okay,
Mm.
three in a group or 4 in a group.
Mm.
Okay, then in each group, say example, we take maximum, say, 12 people in a batch. If they have 4 projects, then all projects, once the team, we have some breakout rooms, during which they discuss about all this, like we will see, then a CTQ, then the project charter, then the process map. So once they complete all of them, they have to present to the others.
Oh.
So
Okay.
through this, others will also get a chance to learn how, say, quality projects are driven, how productivity projects are driven,
Mm.
how sales projects are driven, how supply chain projects are driven.
Okay.
So each participants in the team, a 12-member team, you will get a chance to learn from others as well, and also get an understanding about how projects are driven in different industries.
Correct.
So through this, by end of their control phase,
Okay.
okay, they'll have a clarity about how they need to, first of all, starting from identifying the project.
Okay.
And we teach them big time, go behind that $1 million saving,
Okay.
go behind that point to, even if it is 100K saving, $100K saving, it has to be pronounced as $0.1 million saving. So we teach them. And most of my folks are so much behind money. I mean, there's so much of money thought has been put in them, and I was that even if I ask them some questions, they only talk about money.
Okay.
Okay, so that way they have a clear cut clarity. And also we give them data for analyzing as well. Okay, they need to do a measure, they need to complete their MSc, GRR, or kappa,
Okay.
whatever required for the project to do. And they
Mm.
need to do the CPCPK, they need to
Mm.
do a baselining, they need to calculate sigma value for the project, for the
Okay.
data which is given to them.
Okay.
And we also make sure that uh, the 4 teams, we try and make sure that the four teams together cover as many tools as possible. Like one work with discrete data, one work with continuous data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one work with defective data, one work with defect data. And in continuous data, one work with an individual data point, one work with subgrouping.
Okay.
One work with one sample t, other work with maybe one variance test, and maybe a proportion one, or maybe non-parameter test. So
Mm.
through this, they'll get a chance to learn about all the tools right there. Otherwise, it's just a theory, right?
Yeah.
Difficult to get that correct.
Correct.
If no project, no fun in learning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what keep our people motivated and learn better. And this is where by the end of the Six Sigma training, they would have learned about how to drive a project first. They have got a skeleton of the project, and
Okay.
they make the PPT out of it, and they save this for themselves. And we got some 60 or template which is there.
Okay.
I mean, they use these templates from a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they drive projects.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how we are engaging people, because as I said, my focus is to help professionals drive project at the end of the their Lean Six Sigma training.
Okay.
This is exactly the reason why we came into this industry, to train people.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're good as a consulting company. We make good money as a consulting company.
Yes, yes, yes. Correct, sir.
Okay, but this
Yes.
is what drives us.
Actually, we have seen your profile and other things, and it is very practical sessions we have seen, and also it is a very good. Actually, your we have seen some practical workouts they were doing in your website. Also, we have seen something the peoples are
Thank
doing.
you so much, Hari. Thank you
Very
so much.
very interesting, and so sure our friends will join you. And congratulations for your future endeavors. Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
so much, Hari.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Nice.
you so much. Thanks for connecting. It's pleasure talking to you, and look forward to associate with you guys, in the future. And do reach out to us in case wherever you require some Six Sigma help. Okay, and we have trained good number of black belts, who are eager to support anybody who's want to try projects, because it's a win-win situation again, right? In the black belts, you get a chance to learn. Okay, and also for somebody looking for a mentorship or some support, it's again good for them to get the mentorship as well. Okay, I mean, somebody who's interested can actually approach us for helping them to try project. We are happy to support, either me or my any of my black belts will be very happy to support. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
thank you so much, Hari.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you, pleasure talking to you. You should have a nice day.